All right, we are back from our break, and there has been some discussion of appropriate punishments, and let's see what the party has decided. There was some ideas of potentially having Leva make a suggestion, or just leaving it up to the captain.
Leva, I would like you to make a suggestion on what you would do to make amends to this situation. If you don't, then I'll be forced to make my own judgment on what should happen here.
It
Keep in
sounds.
mind, I'll say this. Keep in mind, it has to be something sufficient because this can't stand.
Can I?
Yeah, go ahead. Make a suggestion there, Lafdul.
It wasn't a suggestion. I just wanted to make sure this crew member is actually dead.
Yeah, the crew member's dead.
All right. Okay. Because
Like that was an outright death. 22 damage.
I could speak. I could use speak with the dad in a few days' time to find out if the crew member. I could even ask him himself what kind of punishment he was. That I can ask. I can ask this ghost essentially. What would be appropriate recompense from your own perspective? I can literally ask the ghost, and that would delay this at the very least.
That's a good idea.
A delay might anger the crew, though.
Yeah, so delay would. No, I want this
At
done.
At the very least, it won't be any more than a week. Obviously, it
No.
can be done in 2 days.
I'm saying no. As
Alright. It's fine. I offered the suggestion, it was rejected.
Did she pay a fine?
Leva, make a suggestion.
You can either make a suggestion or just say you leave it up to the captain.
I think I'll leave it up to the captain or to the crew because I have no suggestion.
Oh my god.
Do you want to go to the crew and ask them?
Yes.
Right.
Okay. So you go to the crew standing around and say what? What do you? Go ahead and roleplay out what.
I'm there. I say I am very, very sorry for what happened, and the only excuse I can bring up is that my brain was totally confused. But that's not really an excuse, and so I stand here. And I think it's up to you, since you were the ones that were hurt, it is up to you to decide the punishment.
The crew kind of murmur amongst themselves, and one speaks up and says, "Well, I fully expect if I had done something like this, even accidental, that I'd get flogged. So I guess that's what I'd be suggesting."
All right. Okay, so a little bit of context here for the audience, if we have any here. This is out of character. Leva mentioned that she would, her character would leave if we instigated this type of punishment for her. So that's why there's the big hesitation here.
Yeah, it's in our backstory that she was a slave and she was mistreated.
We don't know this, though. The character,
she's gonna think
characters.
We're doing this. We're no different than our master. She can't. Yeah, she can't deal with this. But we're just gonna have to roleplay it out, unfortunately.
All right, Leva. I mean, is there anything? This is like me as a player asking. Is there anything that you can think of for a punishment thing that won't cause you to quit playing your character?
Well,
because I think it's highly unfair for me to do something like that.
But
we have to do something in this case.
Yeah, no, I actually don't think it's highly unfair, but I personally can't think of anything else. I didn't know anything else 5 minutes ago. I still don't know anything now.
Okay.
Can't think of anything.
What?
I am going to ask, even though you're going to object, I'm going to ask the crew. I know you've spoken your mind, but I want to see if the crew has a different opinion. And this is kind of like this is a breach of conduct because I'm going against what you suggested. So I'm going against. So you're going to have to appropriately punish me for doing this, maybe. But basically, I will say to the crew, could we delay this for a couple of days? I can ask the crew member, it was an accident. Maybe he's got a family or relative she can compensate him for his loss, rather than flogging Leva. We kind of need her. We can't have her in a weakened state. It's severely detrimental. We might all die because she's in a weakened state. Would you be adverse to at least delaying a couple of days so I can speak to the crew member's spirit?
There's some grumbling in the amongst the crew. They definitely don't seem happy about this suggestion, but and while this is all happening, more and more crew have kind of like come up into the area and are up and down below, the deck above, the deck below, so they can hear what's going on. And some of them kind of voice an opinion that they know that they're in a very dangerous place. They saw these things attack the ship. They understand that, but at the same time, punishment has to be meted out quickly and appropriately, especially in serious situations like this.
All right, another way of looking at it, then obviously they're gonna flogging's still gonna happen now, but if I healed her, would that be considered?
Oh, healing her afterwards? No, that's acceptable. That's fine.
Braxon's going to walk over to Higgimus and say, if Lafdul gets his way with this delay, I think we need to confine her to quarters and treat her like a prisoner until anything's done.
No, this needs to be handled right now. Even the crew, yeah. Leva, I don't take any pleasure in this, but for the gross misconduct of slaying the crew member here, I'm going to sentence you to what would be like a...
It's usually like 50 lashings. It's
really
brutal.
I'm going to say like 20 lashings. Not done by me. I'm afraid that I'm far too strong for this.
Don't get an officer to do this.
You could have a crew do it. You could have a crew member do it. That would be that would also be appropriate.
It'd have to be a close crew member.
What about the guy she shot a sling bullet at?
We don't know about that yet, do we?
I mean, like, if there's some moments of discussion, then yeah, you would have found out about that.
They would certainly know, because Leva would tell them there's somebody else.
Okay, then yeah, definitely, because you knew that this was something that could happen. Well, not the death, but you knew that the runes were causing people to attack people, or causing anybody that was studying to attack somebody. So, to be carried out henceforth. So the lashings, 20 lashings.
Okay.
And we'll do whatever the necessary protocol is for this, if people have to watch or whatnot.
Yeah, it'd have to be witnessed by the officers.
On deck.
Yeah, it would be done on deck. Officers have to watch. No one else is forced to watch, but other crew members, many of the other crew members
they'll do it to see that justice is done.
Yeah.
So.
Sorry, Leo.
All right, so the crew leads Leva to the command deck, the open command deck. She is tied to the mast, and her robe is pulled down enough to expose her back, and she receives 20 lashes.
Hang on, Braxton give her something to bite on before.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
And
it
is extremely painful. Lafdul, you're gonna heal her?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
What are you gonna use?
I got 2 cure light wounds, I guess.
Okay, that would be enough to fully heal the wounds, so I'm not gonna reduce her hit points for that. But yes, it is extremely painful, Leva. And the crew seems satisfied with the punishment.
All right.
They do?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they understand, you said it was an accident and stuff like that. They understand that. So, it's an accidental death, not an intentional one, but it's also, like, they expect that they're in danger. That's why they've signed up for this, for this ship, because they expect high reward. But they also don't expect to be magic missile to death by the ship's mage.
I can
Outside
understand
of combat,
that, yes.
like if it was a combat situation, it would be different. With enemy spellcasters, that's the kind of thing. Chaotic combat with enemy spellcasters, that's understood. But yeah, this was not one of those situations. Okay.
Can I use some herbalism to give her something for the pain?
Yeah.
Healing proficiency check. I'll just use one of my healing. I put healing. It's probably a combination of both. Oh, barely. Wait, what? Wait, one. Oh, I know exactly what she needs.
What?
There you go. You come up with a poultice that you apply to the welts, and you mix up a little concoction that she can take as well.
Mm-hmm. Something for the pain, basically.
Yep.
I mean, cure light wounds heals wounds, doesn't reduce pain, unless it's a heal spell.
All right. Well, now that we got that bad business out of the way, we need to think about how we're going to get into that doorway.
It's a hole.
A hole.
Yeah. So there's no door there. As far as you can tell, you could just go inside.
How are we going to get to that portal, though?
Oh, so the other players know they're the temporary hidden potions. Leva's the only one that doesn't have one. Same with me. So all the other characters know. Yeldan's at 1 day. No, it's 3 days. 2 days, I mean. That's right. So Ockar and Higgimus, Braxon, you've all got your temporary healing potions.
Okay, this is a new one. All right, cool.
Yeah, I created 2 more.
Okay, cool. Excellent.
And obviously I had one before I rested, which is what Braxton's got. That's what's 1 day left.
Okay, excellent. So we got this hole we have to get over to.
Oh, I typed it slightly wrong. Braxton should be... Yeah, no, carry on, sorry.
Anybody have any ideas for how we're going to get over there?
Hang on. What should my thing be?
No, it's right. Yeah, it's 5 out of 6 days.
How to get over to the hole?
Yes.
I think we can. Put a gangplank there.
I could fly over to the hole and have a rope.
Good. What were you saying, Braxon?
I think we could turn the ship sideways and put a gangplank over. I think Ord said that.
Yeah, I did not specifically say
that, don't we?
I said you get a gangplank over to either of the other vessels, although one of them has no obvious openings.
Okay. So, is the hole above or below the gravity plane of this sphere?
Well, you have not verified whether there is any gravity in here.
All right.
But
so, the inner circumference of the sphere, I don't know how small it is relative to our ship.
It's pretty big.
Could we turn the ship sideways and go alongside it? Bring the command deck alongside it?
That would be a very, very tight maneuver, in part because you can't move the ship sideways.
Yeah.
You can move the ship
All right,
forward
then.
and back, which means that you'd have to, like, kind of try and angle it in.
Yeah.
Could
So we-
Nor take the flitter that we have and get us right next to there, and we can just hop off from there?
I mean, both of our spellcasters' helmsmen will be used for the day. That means we can't run.
or we go over on the hill. Why don't we do this at a change of shift? We just leave our ship where it is.
So the other mage is resting.
Well, we're doing shifts, aren't we, of helmsmen? So if we park our ship, then we could go over on the hilt.
Are you having this conversation like out on deck so you can see the positions of the other ships and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Snowlark speaks up and says, "There's no gravity in here. You can just swim over there."
Oh, excellent. Well, there you go.
Lead by example, please. Then I will certainly follow.
All right.
Well,
she gives you an odd look, but then shrugs and takes a leap off the side of the vessel and seemingly expertly swims through the gravity plane until she leaves where you would expect the air envelope for your ship to be.
Lafdul follows.
I'm gonna follow along as well with Beowulf.
Does everybody have everything they need? What were you going to say?
How far away are we from that?
I mean, you can get the ship in closer. Since you were in between the other two vessels, you're actually fairly close. It's just a few hundred feet.
Well, I'm just wondering if Braxon could just send his rope over and we just climb along the rope.
No, it's a few hundred feet.
Just swim.
And as far as you can tell, there's nothing for the rope to attach to over there.
First person goes over there.
Let's go. Let's just go. Come on. I jump over.
Snowlark and Lafdul have already gone over, and they're swimming
followed after the.
Yeah, I'm just thinking.
I went after Lafdul.
Tie the rope to Lafdul's ankle.
No.
All right, Braxon
would untie.
I would also point out that like Snowlark is swimming like an Olympic-style swimmer. You know, skill and grace. Lafdul and Ockar are like flailing around and much more slowly, moving much more slowly. I will
doing a doggy paddle.
No one I believe has 0G combat. So
no.
Yeah.
No, it would be 0G combat in this situation.
Can we catapult
can't have everything. Let's go.
If you want to get the crew to catapult you over, you could try that.
No.
Why are you making it so difficult?
Yeah.
Okay, right. So Braxon is going to.
I think Braxon and Leva are the only ones who have not said that they've left the ship at this point.
Yeah. Oh.
Leva will try and stand behind.
Stay behind?
Yes.
You're going to stay on the ship?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. There's a bit here on the command deck that seems to be above the officer's deck.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing there's a roof here.
Yeah.
On this bit.
Well, it's actually the floor, but yeah.
Yeah, but all right, okay. Well, I'm guessing if Braxon climbs over there, there's a small amount of floor here.
Yeah.
So he can take a running jump.
Yeah.
And then swim afterwards.
Well, the problem is that the gravity plane. So that part of the hull is curving away from the gravity plane. So no, you can't really take a running jump.
Okay.
Viraj is also going over. She's already left.
In that case, he'll take a running jump over the side.
Okay. All right, so everyone other than Leva is making their way over.
When we get over, let me know if I see her not coming along.
I mean, once you would get there, then you would notice like immediately that she is not behind you and is still on the vessel, and everyone else is in the tunnel. You get to the tunnel, Lafdul. Snowlark is already standing inside. And as soon as you enter the circumference of the tunnel, the circular tunnel, you kind of gently fall against one of the sides. You feel very disoriented. You're standing on the inside surface of this circular tunnel, and you notice that Snowlark is standing not in the same place as you are. She's standing about 45 degrees further away, perfectly fine, and you kind of realize that, at least for a portion of this, the gravity plane seems curved.
I try to match her.
Okay.
The best I can.
She's
trying to save face.
She's just kind of standing there, hands on hips, waiting as the rest of you get in. Each of you, as you enter this this tunnel, you kind of gently fall against one of the walls, whichever you were closest to, and you realize that the entire circular tunnel has a gravity plane. The entire surface.
Oh, wow.
And each of you basically comes in at a different, closer to one part than the other, and as you're standing up, you're standing at a completely different point along the circular tunnel than the rest of the party.
Braxon's going to walk around in a circle.
It's very easy to do. It is very disorienting. You feel your stomach is kind of doing, some leaps. The tunnel is about 20 feet in diameter, but it definitely makes you a little queasy.
Can I ask Snowlark for some pointers for how do you move about? It's just making small talk, basically.
She just
what's best?
Kind of shrugs and says, "You get used to it after time."
Oh.
Braxon's going to say this is just very weird.
All of a sudden, there's a great thump sound, and your black armored friend enters the tunnel as well. It appears that he leapt from the ship.
Oh, so Braxon can't leap from the ship, but Sten can.
That's very.
Next time.
Wow.
Next time, Braxon's going to ride Sten like a horse.
Sten will knock you off.
I know, I'm joking.
So you're all in the corridor, except Leva, and you realize that Leva has not joined you. Looking back towards the vessel, you do not see her swimming along.
Did Ockar take his
Beowulf is with
flying mount? Yeah, did he take the mantle?
He didn't fly. He didn't say he was flying.
Did he bring the mantle?
Braxon's going to yell over.
I said the Beowulf was coming along too.
Right.
Yeah, but did you bring the saddle?
Yeah, I brought it.
Yeah, because we could probably ferry her over or something. I don't know. Can you find out what's happening with Leva?
I'll say, where's Leva?
I'll put the sail on Beowulf and fly back over to see what's up.
All right. Thank you, Ockar. I'm not the most graceful swimmer there.
Yeah, so I'll fly back over and see what's up.
What are you on about? You're the most naturally inclined to being hippo, man. They love water. They can swim, sort of.
Being, looking like a hippo doesn't mean
he has the head of a hippo. He's not a hippo.
I would like to think that he does have some kind of water-based trait.
Oh, I mean, you could definitely
with
think
a ring.
Well, yeah.
So
I totally do with a ring.
Ockar, you're flying back to the ship to get Leva on board?
Yeah.
Okay. Leva?
Leva locked herself into the library, or into her own room.
I'm gonna head up to the library and knock on the door.
No response.
Leva, are you okay?
Go away.
Come on, Leva.
Go away.
It's up to you two to roleplay this out. You two are the only ones there. Keep going.
Look, I'm sorry about what happened up on the deck, but you did kill a person.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Go away.
Are you really going to be holding this against us?
No. I'm not holding it against you. I'm going to leave. I'm just waiting.
Levy, you don't have to leave.
I didn't say I have to. Oops.
Why do you want to leave?
Do the bells disturb you?
No, they're not that
No,
loud.
it's not that loud.
Okay. Now I lost my thread. Give me a quick moment. I need to close the window. Just a moment.
Okay.
And you're gonna have to convince her.
Yeah, the one job I'm terrible at.
No, you are a paladin, and you've got like a sense of justice and doing the right thing in the world. You know, you saw it.
My apologies about that. That was really bad. Leva says, no, absolutely not. I'm not coming.
Find out why she doesn't want to come along.
Tell the others I'm not coming.
Why do you not want to come along?
Let me see. Leva is traumatized. You're not a psychologist, so she won't tell you. She'll just say, go away.
Such a thing back then, is there?
Not really.
The closest thing you get is a priest consular.
They hadn't invented psychology then. They just used to drill holes in your head.
Leva.
I'm sorry. I'm not. Yes.
Leva,
go away.
Leva, I understand what Winter was terrible, but we rely on you. We need you to keep us from getting ourselves killed out there. And without you, it's most likely that if we run into something really dangerous, we might die without your help.
I know. Go away.
Actually, no. I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving until you come back.
Why?
Because I am your friend, and I believe in you, and I do not want to leave you alone here.
I'm used to being alone. I was alone before I met all of you. I'll be able to survive alone on my own.
Well, I don't want you to be alone. Because being alone is horrible. And it's okay. It is a terrible feeling when you are alone and you have nobody there to look out for you or to be there for you when you need them to. So, I'm going to be here for you, even if you don't want to come along. And I'm not leaving you here.
Go away.
I'm not going away.
I don't want you sitting in front of my door. Go away.
Then open the door and I'll come in and give you a hug.
I don't want a hug. Leave me alone.
I'm not gonna leave. I'm not gonna give up on you.
Lewa cries loudly.
I'm going to tell a crew member to signal to the party that I'm staying here with Leva to keep her company.
Okay.
And I'm gonna sit by the door.
All right, you continue to talk to her through the door. Crew member goes up on deck and signals to the rest of the party in the tunnel. Braxon, it's pretty easy for you to understand exactly what Ockar just said.
Braxon signals back, understood, and goes to talk to Higgimus. And says she doesn't want to come over. He's saying he's going to stay there with her. We've got two choices. We either go back and sort this out.
We'll just have to go without her. I mean... She's had a traumatic experience. She needs time at the very least.
At this point, Snowlark is walking in a circle, pacing, definitely huffing, very impatient.
I mean, if she's that impatient, she can always leave and go on without her. She might get herself killed.
Yeah.
Oh, G-Man says he's got something come up. He had to leave.
All right. Yeah, he said something came up. All right.
Ew.
Well, hopefully there isn't a combat.
One by one, we're all... I mean, I was late and... Yeah.
Okay. Did the message say why they weren't coming along?
No, I can ask for further details. So Braxon signals back.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Braxon signals back saying, "Can we have more information, please?"
I would have told the guy why, what's going on, so he could signal to him.
Well, you told him what he was going to signal. He went and signaled that.
Yeah.
He comes back and says, they'd like to know why she's not coming. Why you're going to say?
You should not shoot an arrow with a note.
I'm just going to give him the basic rundown of what's going on.
Okay.
Basic.
That's fine. He goes back up and signals back the rest of the party that. I don't need Ockar to reiterate everything all over again.
Yeah.
You guys heard it, so.
So Braxon.
You get the gist. She's she needs. He feels that she needs a little bit of time, kind of thing, and he's staying there and talking to her, try to comfort her, that kind of thing.
This isn't good.
No, so do we all go back and sort this out?
We can't keep delaying this. I mean, sometimes we're down party members. Just have to carry on and hope we can overcome it. But yeah, we've already made the point that, we might die without her, and we sometimes might have to prove that people will die.
By dying?
Yeah, I know, but that might convince her to keep her character.
All right, so how would Higgimus handle this? Well, I can't force her. Can I force her to come along?
Not easily. I mean, you can break the door down and carry her, but
it'd be useless.
Then, yeah.
I mean, you could.
Look, if I thought breaking the door down and carrying her would have helped at all in this situation, I would have done that.
I mean, you could always go back. You know how to get over to where you are. It's not that difficult. You just don't look very good doing it. You could always go back and try talking to her.
Is there...
Yeah,
while this is happening,
that's fine.
Is there anything that I can do while I'm here, like searching for traps or something? Killing time.
I mean, you can definitely search for traps while waiting.
Yeah, just search the traps. I don't know.
Snowlark seems.
Yeah, Lafdul start doing that.
Completely unworried about the tunnel itself, but you can certainly examine it. It appears to be made of some smooth black substance that it's stony in feel, cool.
Oh, we have a dwarf with us. Does she know what type of stone this is?
She has no idea. She tells you that she's not an expert on.
Can she tell if it even is stone?
She says that it's not a stone that she's familiar with. If it is stone, you see no joints, no mortar lines, nothing like that.
If only we had a alchemist to find out the material composition of something.
Well, Higgimus, you said that you were going back to the ship.
Yeah, I'll tell Snorlark. I apologize for this. It appears that the punishment we gave our mage here for the mistake she made is having some complications. I will be back momentarily.
All right, Braxon, are you going to go too?
Yeah, Braxon to go back.
Okay.
Lafdul's staying.
All right, Lafdul will stay. Yeldan will stay. All right, so Braxon and Higgimus,
getting my exercise for the day.
you get back. It's pretty easy to do it. It's just, ungraceful and time consuming.
When you re-enter the gravity plane, you have to get crew members to rope you up.
Braxon's got rope.
All right, yeah, all right.
He can take. Yeah.
So you get to the door to Leva's quarters. Ockar's sitting down out front, talking to her through the door. She's crying.
Yeah, and I look up at you guys and say, they came back over.
Yeah, what seems... yeah, Higgimus is going to be kind of straightforward. What seems to be the problem with... Here.
Well, she's taking the whole punishment thing really bad and is thinking of leaving.
That's not good.
I will knock on the door, and I'll say, Leva, could you open the door, please?
Go away.
Leva, could you please open the door? I'd rather not have Braxon have something else he has to fix.
She cries. She doesn't answer. She says, the only thing she says is go away.
One more time, please open this door.
Auld?
Mm-hmm.
Does that door open inwards or outwards?
Inwards.
Inwards.
Is there any other way into the room, like through a window or something?
There's the door through the library.
Is there any way into the library?
Yeah, the library is open.
Yeah, she's just got sectioned off.
I'm gonna
right there.
I'm gonna head in. I'm gonna head for the door to the library that leads into her room.
I will attack people who come in.
How?
Leave me alone. Go away.
Oh, you mean, yeah.
So, Leva, you didn't lock that door?
I locked all the doors I
Okay.
could think of.
Oh, if only
I mean, if you lock yourself in, there's no point in.
doors.
If you lock yourself in, there's no point in not doing it properly.
All right. Just checking.
I should have came
And
along.
it seems there are windows there too, so she made certain that those are locked too.
No, those are
have a hard time locking
cargo
them,
doors,
imagine.
but they
okay.
you guys set them in such a way that they don't open anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because this was a
So
cargo
yes,
door.
Leva would definitely close all the doors that she could think of. If she had memorized wizard lock, she would have used that too, but she didn't.
Braxon
Or
says,
maybe
"Come
she
on,
did. Maybe she did. I mean, after all, she did have a night to sleep over that.
Braxon.
No,
Braxon
this
says,
is all the
no,
same
this
day.
is a day.
Okay. In that case, no, she didn't. But she would have if she had.
Yes, Higgimus.
Would I, as captain, have the keys to the doors?
Yes, you
I would think so.
Probably would, yeah.
Yes, you
You'd have-
would.
All right, Leva, I'm going to open this door. I'm going
away.
to unlock it.
Okay, you unlock the door and open it?
Yes.
All right.
And I will head over, stand, not too far away from Leva, and I'll say, Leva, come on. We need to get going. We have a mission we have to accomplish here.
Leva is
Snowlark, whether you might think of us, Snowlark doesn't deserve this. Her master, she's worried about her master.
Well, Leva is sort of not hidden, but she put herself into a corner and sits there totally. How would you describe it?
In like a field position kind of thing?
Hidden behind
What?
a blanket.
You know, holding, like, with a blanket wrapped around her and holding her knees to her chest?
Yeah, something like
kind
that.
of thing.
Catatonic sort of thing.
Braxton's going to go and sit fairly close to Liver, but not too close.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Go away. Go away.
If you all
Go
do
away.
that, then it's overbearing.
Braxton's
Leva,
going to...
Don't you know anything? You don't go with 3 people and Ben.
Oh yeah. Let's just let Higgimus handle it from here.
Sorry, I'm crying. Leva is crying.
Okay.
She's telling you to go away. And she's telling
tears
you
of
that
joy,
if you don't go
clearly.
away, she will attack you.
Yeah, I don't... Unless she attacks him with magic. Even then. Leva, we really need you for this. Now, I understand that you're probably upset about the punishment, but that's something that would happen to any of us that made that decision, made a decision like that, or a mistake, I should say.
I think, well, you've all talked enough to Leva. I think Leva is sort of thinking about opening up a bit, telling you why the punishment was so bad for her.
Okay.
But she also tells you that she intends to leave.
Braxon says, I'd hate to have someone else leave. I felt really bad when Zamfir left. And
Lafdul didn't.
Lafdul's not there to say so.
Yeah, I do.
Oh yes, he stayed away.
That's because you got lit on fire.
And I know what it's like to do dodgy stuff. I had that book, and I did some pretty weird stuff for a while.
He knows nothing.
I punched Ockar in the face, and I still haven't properly apologized to him. Well, I did at the time, but I still feel bad about it.
So,
and I still feel bad about the crewman that got squashed when we were taking that shell off for Higgimus.
I like that last addition there for Higgimus.
They were still crying. She sort of opens up a bit. She tells them that this was the normal punishment for slaves where she was, and she's quite familiar with that punishment, and she doesn't think she can stay with a group that uses that particular punishment.
It was the lightest punishment that you could have received for something like this.
You don't expect her to be logical in this particular situation.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the level. It was the lightest possible punishment we could do for what had happened. Any other ones would be like keyholing or something else even more horrific. We had to pick something, and it had to be the lesser of all the evils. And
she's still crying.
Even then, I feel terrible about even doing what we did, but maritime laws are maritime laws, and we gave you a choice of what you wanted to do.
You have to understand, it's not that how can I say, she is not, she doesn't dispute the severity of the punishment or thinks she should have gotten away later. She just can't deal with having been flogged.
Yeah.
Well, Leva, we need to get through this mission here. I can understand if after this you want to leave the group. I would, not. That wouldn't make me happy at all, and I would suggest otherwise. But we're here now. We're not going anywhere else. We need your help with this. You can hate me for what we did. That's fine. I'll deal with it as captain. But we're here right now. We need to get through this.
Help us with this one last job, and then next time we go to port, you can leave if you want to.
Okay. Well. Okay.
Okay. I'm going to offer my hand to her. Here, let me help you up.
Okay.
And I'll help her back up to her feet, and not to her. Okay.
I'll try to back off so I'm not crowding her.
Yeah, and I'll slowly lead her out of the room.
You go, Leva?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As a party together, you go back over to the tunnel?
I'll fly back over with her on the wolf.
Okay.
Braxton's going to make sure all the stuff she's got is... And if there was anything on the floor, he'll pick it up. Does she need anything? Has she got all her stuff with her?
Yeah, we went made sure she had her gear.
Yeah, she does. Let's not worry
All
about
right, we make sure her door is locked.
Okay. All right, so you get back to Lafdul and Snowlark. The armored figure that you call Sten is standing there. So is Viradra. Viradra and Lafdul have been talking about the makeup of the walls. If either of them asked Snowlark, what it was made of or something like that, she just would have shrugged, not really answered.
Oh, could I ask if it was a naturally occurring resource?
It not in this form. I know that much.
Oh, it was magically altered. Wow.
I mean, this facility was created by my master, of course.
This whole place looks like magic to me, but I don't know. Wow. I'm not the finger waggler.
Oh, I just keep insulting us day after day. How does Lafdul live with this Giff, this monstrosity of an uncaring brute?
So, shall we start moving?
Yeah, let's go along. Snowlark, are you certain that there's not going to be any traps or anything along this way here? Or have you been in this sanctum?
Oh, yes. I've lived most of my life here.
Okay.
There should not be any traps.
Okay. Let us head on then.
All right. You travel down the tunnel for quite a while. You would estimate it's somewhere around 500 feet long at a minimum. And you find yourself entering a spherical chamber. The spherical chamber itself is about 50 feet in diameter, and as you exit the tunnel, you just smoothly transition to the inside surface of the sphere. At exactly 90-degree angles from where you enter on the sphere are two other tunnels leading out. The chamber is lit with a light that, as you come in, is either below you or above you, depending on which way you come in. On the far end of the chamber, you can see overturned racks for weapons of some sort, and the surface of this chamber, as opposed to the black walls of the tunnel that you were just in, they are tiled with some sort of grand mosaic that makes the chamber look like it's a blue sky filled with clouds and moving air for wind and stuff like that.
So, which way should we go?
However, just inside the chamber, as you enter, you can see a great scorch mark on the surface, and amongst them are charred remains of something. You'd have to go over and look at it, and as you do so, as you enter, Snowlark immediately starts rushing over to see what it is.
Oh,
I'll follow along.
All right. Lafdul, could you take a look at that too?
Well, you want me to look at pile of bones?
Yeah.
Well, you're the only one who knows that can gain details off the pile of bones. How about this charred spot there too?
Sure. I don't have anatomy, so.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
So,
I can look.
Snowlark passes by some rather large charred remains and heads straight to a smaller figure that's about the size of a human, you'd guess, if it were intact. It's humanoid shape, but completely charred, and some broken pieces of armor and a morning star nearby that look very much like same sort of material, metal that her armor was when she was wearing it.
Oh, it's not magic. It can magically retract or expand, but it is permanent.
Is that the person you're searching for, Snowlark?
So she kind of ignores the question, drops to her knees, and kind of lets out a wail of anguish and says, "No, sister, what happened?" She turns to you and says, "This was my sister Oliphant. She's dead."
I'll get a grim expression on my face. My ears will my ear tufts will twitch a little bit. I'm sorry for your loss. There's unfortunately probably nothing we can do now. Was she also a protector like yourself?
Yes, she was.
Do you know what these things are? And I'll point towards the larger charred remains.
They were just helots. That you don't need to worry about them. They weren't really alive.
Oh, okay.
Could Yeldan figure out how long something's been dead via survival?
He might be able to. I can roll. So you don't actually smell anything in this room.
Yeah, and I'm trying to gauge in like hundreds of years. He deals with decomposition, I suppose, in some aspects of his majoring.
Mean that there was probably no bacteria type of thing.
Let me check what his score is. Hold on a second.
What's it based off his intellect or?
Okay, he looks over the material and he reaches out to touch some of it and is unable to move it. And he says, from the appearance, I would swear that these were no more than hours old. But
really?
I smell nothing. It's not hot. But it also doesn't move. I can't lift this.
Can I move it?
No, it feels as permanent, as fixed in place as a mountain, essentially. Like it doesn't budge even the fraction of an inch when you try to push on one of the remains.
I'll ask Snowlark, is this normal?
Not at all. I cannot do anything with my sister here either.
So is there in like a stasis of some sort?
I know not.
This is bizarre.
I ask Leva, there basically to read spellcraft, but is there a spell that might potentially hold them in place, like some form of stasis spell? In other words, can she roll to check to see if there is such a thing?
I don't
she
know.
Can roll.
Is there?
She can roll.
Spellcast? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a second. I'm always in the wrong part of the character sheet.
I mean, you can always just roll a d20 and then look at it.
Some spells that do that.
Nope. She has no idea. Maybe it's her current mental state.
Okay.
Yeah, she's still very traumatized. That's a word.
Alright, I'll cast Detect Magic on her, I guess.
Okay.
So does Leva.
What? Don't both of us use our spells? Oh, if I know she's going to cast it, I'm going to stop if I don't waste my spell.
Okay, so which of you wants to then cast?
I announce I'm going to cast it.
Okay, you cast it.
Alright, I will cast it. I don't want us both using our spells. Alright, I cast mine.
Okay. You sense on the charred remains itself there is some magic that radiates as elemental fire. However, it is almost overwhelmed by the radiance of magic everywhere. This entire place is showing powerful magic of types that you can't determine.
Well, yeah, it's probably a magical ship, but can I not discern the other magic that's surrounding the bones? As in, there is some substance around it, other than the elements of fire.
It's impossible to differentiate from all the other magic around. The only thing that you can differentiate is an aura of elemental fire magic.
And normally you can't detect the auras of spells because they usually fade off after a period of time.
Mm-hmm.
Something's preserving them. Alright. Yeah, something's magically preventing the passage of time or something. This person did die recently, but for whatever reason, no time has passed. Because she was killed by magical fire, and I should not be able to detect that, but for some reason I am able to. So something, is holding the passage of time. So potentially I might be able to speak with Devil if I had it memorized. I don't know.
If you had it memorized.
Well,
there's nothing else I can do here.
Shall we continue on then? Again, Snowlark, I'm sorry for your loss here.
If we can keep up a pace while my spell lasts.
She kind of has a fierce look in her face, nods, and says, "Whoever did this will pay." You have a choice of two ways out of this chamber.
So it splits left and right? Or...
Yep. Well, I mean, it's hard to say left or right because as soon as you start moving towards one, the other one is, like, above you.
No.
Can we see any indications of damage or fighting in either of these tunnels?
You'd have to get to the tunnels. There seems to be an unusual property of this place where not much light travels out into the tunnels. So
right,
the chamber that you're in is brightly lit, but it makes it very difficult to see more than like a couple feet down the tunnels.
Braxon says, can we check out the first little bit of each tunnel and see if we can...
Before you do that...
track anyone.
Yeah, I was going to suggest the tracking, but don't step there until Yeldan's had a look. See if you can find any tracks, because whatever's here is magically preserving. They might magically preserve the footprints or something.
Okay.
Very well.
He takes a look. However, he shakes his head and says, the substance of these walls and chambers are making it virtually impossible to find any tracks. Nothing's being left behind.
Oh, well. Yeah, and I also mentioned that the whole place is radiating magic.
I'll look over to Snowlark and I'll ask her, which way is it to, like, the main chamber?
Everywhere leads everywhere in this place.
Do you have a suggestion on which way to go?
Okay, let's just pick one.
I leave that up to you.
All right, let's go for the one, and I'll point in one of the directions, so I'll say that way.
What's the easiest one?
All right, well, so
right.
At the way you came in, there was essentially one that we'll say was right or left. So you've got right or left.
Right.
Okay, so you go down the right tunnel. Okay. You enter that, and again, it's another cylindrical corridor, and like the first corridor that you entered, you find that you can walk on the entire surface of the wall. After about 80 feet, you come across the remains of another creature that Snowlark indicates is a helot, and it appears to have just been smashed, pummeled into the ground.
Same rate of decomposition?
Yeah, I mean you don't see any change to it, and you you can't move any of the remains.
This is actually an intact corpse, but it's smashed apart. It's not bones.
It's been smashed. It has not been burned. It's been smashed, like crushed.
So there's like a fleshy substance to it still.
Well, it doesn't give. There's no give to it.
I'm not on about the odor. I'm on about, is there a corpse that has...
Right.
It's not bones.
But what? Yeah. Well, I mean, the other ones weren't bones either, but they were
Oh.
incinerated. I mean, there was charred remains. But there's no give to it. Like you would expect, you push your fingers into your flesh. There's give. There's no give on this.
Yeah, something's... I don't know.
It's like solid as a rock. But it's also been smashed into the ground, so... it appears that it was some sort of multi-legged creature, because you see 4 legs and 2 arms that you can make out.
Don't know. I don't recognize the creature.
Snowlark doesn't seem to give it much thought.
I'd suggest we keep moving on. I mean, there's nothing we can search through the corpse if it had anything.
Okay.
Briefly.
Do you know what this thing is, Snowlark?
She says, just another helot.
Oh, okay. I don't know what hell it is.
Is it a servant? Is it vermin? Is it hostile? Is it friendly? Is it food? Is it...
They are servants of my master as well, but
right.
not truly alive.
There's a hierarchy.
They're made.
Not
They're
truly
not
alive.
alive.
Oh.
Oh, like golems.
Perhaps.
All right.
I don't know the details.
Okay. Well, let's continue
Makes
on then,
sense.
if we will.
Okay. So you continue down the corridor. You'd estimate it was about 200 feet long in total.
Wow.
And you find that it exits into another spherical chamber. Once again, you are able to just transition right onto the wall surface of this spherical chamber entirely. This appears to be a large garden of some sort. There are plants and lush greenery everywhere, above you, below you, to the sides, everywhere.
Can I do a herbalism check?
Hold on.
Recognize
Hold
an
on. Let me finish. There are 2 other entrances that you can see. Upon your, coming in, there's basically one that before you actually enter, straight ahead, or once you've transitioned onto the wall, straight up above you, like directly up above you. And the other one is about 90 degrees between the 2. There is a large fountain on one of the far walls. There's no sound. You hear no, like in gardens you'd expect to hear the leaves moving. You see the fountain, you would expect to hear the sound of water. You hear none of that. But looking around, you do see near that fountain there's clearly a battle of some sort going on, but frozen in time. Like there's no movement whatsoever. You can see
my theory's right.
Above them, a figure is in the air, but you need to get a little bit closer to get a better look at everything that's going on. But there's more figures down below.
And everyone's frozen.
Everything is frozen, and it looks like there is a small localized storm going on that's kind of obscuring a lot of the view. You'd have to get closer to look to see what's going on.
The flying figure is actually in the air, but frozen.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think if we go in that room, we're going to get frozen too.
No.
I'll look over to Snowlark. What's that thing? Do you know what that is?
I have no idea.
let's go meet it then.
Hang on. I think if we go in that room, we're going to get frozen because we can't hear anything. Is the fountain frozen?
Yeah, the fountain is frozen. You've heard nothing other than the sounds of your own footsteps throughout.
Yeah, Braxton's going to find something to throw in.
Do you have anything that you are holding that you want to throw in?
I'll give you a bullet.
A bullet, all right.
Well,
okay.
he said a coin first, so
okay.
He pulls out a coin and just like flips it in. It transitions to the other gravity plane, and you hear it tink on the surface outside or inside the spherical chamber.
Right. Okay.
It's only affecting the ship and everything it was touching when it was cast upon. Something's frozen time.
Alright.
But it's not affecting anything externally that comes into the ship. Otherwise, we'd have been frozen instantly.
Alright, here goes nothing. Braxon will... Oh, Braxon says, hang on a minute. If time's been frozen and there's 2 people back in that room who've been murdered, maybe they're frozen at the point of death and we can save them.
Yeah.
They were incinerated. I mean, like they're
right.
pretty clearly there's, well past
beyond
saving.
me.
Yeah. Or well past Lafdul's ability to save, shall we say.
Okay.
All right, so you're gonna gingerly step in.
Yeah.
All right.
And then go get his copper coin back.
Nothing happens, and you pick up your coin. You're feeling like queasy throughout this place. You're not sure if it's because of magic that's going on or because of the unusual gravity situation.
I couldn't figure out what sphere of magic this was, the whole ship, could I?
No.
Because I failed the roll because it's too much.
It's like, if you had to guess, you would say it's everything.
Oh. What I know is everything is, like, divine.
No, I mean, so if Leva casts a fireball spell or burning hands, it will show up as elemental fire to you.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to think
the sphere of elemental fire. What you saw going on with your detect magic, and it would still be in effect right now, is just there are so many varied types of magic, the various spheres of magic going on here, that you cannot pick any one out. You cannot tell if anything is missing. You cannot tell what this contains. It's just like if... And this isn't what you see because you don't really see the magic. You sense the magic. But if you could see it, you would probably say that it's brown. If like elemental fire was red and something else was green and another thing was yellow, if everything had a shade, everything looks brown because it's all together. So it's impossible to see if anything is missing, and it's impossible to say what is there.
It's impossible for me to try and focus and pick a particular one out.
Yeah. It's impossible.
Yeah.
What is the difference between a priest's detect magic and a mage's detect magic?
You detect spell schools, he detects priest spheres.
So would Leva detect something else than Lafdul in casting detect magic?
Given the way he's describing it, you don't think so.
Okay.
All right, so
can I do
Braxon has walked in
on the plants.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk in too, and I'm gonna start going towards that thing in the center, or the.
I'm gonna walk in as well.
All right, Lafdul basically says, "Hold up a moment. I'm gonna take a look at these plants."
I want to.
So go ahead
see
and roll
how
your
they're
herbalism.
sustaining themselves.
Go ahead and roll your herbalism. Oh, there is a light in the very center of the room, hovering in the air. And it's bright. It seems, it's like sunlight.
Nope.
Leva would like to do that as well.
So, Lafdul, You were wondering how they sustain themselves. You'd guess that the light from the center of the chamber is doing it. You see fairly common varieties of flowers and, nothing really herby unless it has a nice flower. It appears that this is an aesthetic place.
Is there anything that's edible that won't kill me?
Right around you, you're not seeing anything that will kill you, but you're also not seeing anything that's edible per se. Like, there's no berry bushes, there's no fruit trees. Everything appears to be for aesthetic purposes. There are flowers.
Would Leva see anything with her alchemy and cooking?
No.
Okay.
Now, Lafdul, when you touch some of the plants, they don't move. Like, you cannot move a leaf.
Can I break it, forcibly apply external pressure?
You want to try?
Yeah.
Give me a strength check.
14.
You cannot. You push and push and push with all your might, and it does not move.
Can I attempt to chisel it? Some kind of different method of extraction.
You can try. You want to pull out your
without
chisel,
breaking
chisel
the
and hammer?
tools. Yeah, you just chisel it, hacksaw it, try different things. Without ruining my tools.
Your tools just seem to like slide along the edges of the
As if
stems.
it had like a magical protect.
No, just as if they're unbreakable, but not so hard that the force comes back to your tool and breaks it.
Yeah,
just
I'm
doesn't
doing
move.
it. Yeah.
But you also like they don't seem to be sharp. Like they don't cut you as you walk by, kind of thing.
Can I pour a little bit of water from one of my water flasks onto one of the plants?
Yep. The water runs down the stem and pools on the dirt. You would expect it to soak into the dirt, but it does not.
Oh, that's odd. Alright, now carry on to whatever Higgimus is doing and all that. I'm out of thought.
Okay.
Well,
so...
if we do unfreeze this room, we've got a big fight going on that we'll have to be dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you're going to try anything that's going to unfreeze anyone, it might be worth us tying up everyone.
Snorlax, do you know who is fighting whom here?
I'd need to get closer.
All right, let's go.
All right, so you're gonna head over to what's going on?
Yes.
Okay, as you close in, you can see the creature in the air more clearly now. It's easier to see that from a distance than the other stuff because there's what appears to be a hailstorm going on the ground. This creature in the air has bluish skin, like kind of light bluish skin. It's very spindly, very, like thin arms and legs. It has kind of an S-shaped torso leading up to a kind of a bug-like head with large eyes, and as far as you can tell, no mouth. And sprouting from its sides are 6 rather than 2 arms. And it has the normal humanoid 2 legs that you would expect. You'd guess it's about 5 feet tall, and hanging from a belt of some sort is some sort of a shimmery disc of blue metal. And 2 of its hands look a little bit different color than the other 4. And in one of those 2 hands, it is holding an arrow of some sort, and from another hand, a streak of light is emanating from a finger aimed towards the ground.
Maybe that's the magic spell that's frozen everyone.
You gonna keep going in closer?
Hang on.
Mm-hmm.
Don't we have people that do spellcraft stuff?
Just Lava at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Can you work out what this beam of light is doing? I know normally you have to see spells being cast, but looks like a spell being cast that's being frozen.
Do we recognize this?
I mean, if you want to try rolling spellcraft against it, you can.
Yes.
Can I tell if this person's a priest or a mage?
You cannot. Leva, you believe that streak of light is going to be a fireball.
Oh, lovely.
I tell the others, keep away from this. This is going to be a fireball, I think. We've had experiences with fireballs.
Yeah, we have.
Is there anything valuable? Oh, we can't even move anything.
So, if that's a fireball, would it hit all of those other people?
It hasn't. It clearly has not burst into the fireball itself. It's clearly in the process of happening.
But if we,
you'd have to get in closer.
Well,
like
we can see where the guys are pointing.
Well, he's up in the air and it's streaking down towards the ground. You haven't actually gotten to the fight that's clearly going on yet, and the plants are pretty big, you know. So there's a lot of obscuring of vision. Plus, there's some sort of storm raging there.
Oh right, I think this room's bigger than I thought it was.
Oh yeah, it's 200 feet in diameter.
200 feet.
Yeah, 200 feet in diameter.
Oh, never mind. That answers
well,
Yes, Lafdul.
Nah, it was answered by Old's description.
Okay.
Okay. Well, couldn't Braxon walk the other way and go the other side of the guy and see where his finger's pointing?
Sure. I mean,
so he's not standing underneath where the fireball's going to come.
Yeah. No. I mean, you wouldn't going this way anyway. But there's just plants everywhere that don't move. There's a storm raging. Yeah. There's just a lot of things visually impairing your view until you get closer.
All right. Well, if Braxon goes the other way and stands underneath the guy so he's above him, can he have a look and see where his hand is pointing?
Yeah, sure. I mean, again, that's just getting closer.
And infer who targeting.
Yeah. Okay. So you... I mean, like, does everyone want to get closer as well?
Yeah, I want to get closer.
Okay.
This thing that's up in the air, it's frozen too, though, right?
Yeah, it's not moving at all as far as you can see.
Okay.
And,
yeah. Let's just get closer and look at it.
I mean, as Leva would tell you, like, fireball is it's a almost instantaneous spell. This streak of light comes out and boom, and it's done. Yeah. So, like, she would tell you that the fact that it hasn't just gone boom while you're watching, leads her to believe that backing up what Lafdul's saying, that everything is frozen in time.
Okay. Well,
time stop.
Let's take a look closer up.
Okay, so you continue to move closer, and you see down on the ground, essentially below the one in the air, is another of the same types of creatures. However, it's surrounded by a hemisphere of blue light. In front of it, facing away from it, facing the fight, the battle that's going on, is a large humanoid creature that appears to be made of earth and stone. And it is literally in the middle of punching a green-haired figure, very much like Snowlark. And Snowlark immediately gives a cry of surprise as you are getting close, and rushes over to, see who that is. And that is, and she calls out and says to you as she's moving in, "This is my sister Arboreal Aardvark."
Another sister?
Aardvark?
Artwork? Okay.
So
can we move her out of her place?
You could try. I mean, she's clearly been hit by this thing. Like she's recoiling, like frozen in time, recoiling from a powerful blow from this large.
Do you think I'm gonna see if I can try to move her away from the thing further?
Okay.
So the sister is gonna get hit by the fireball. Is that the case?
You're not exactly sure because you can't see exactly where the fireball spell hasn't detonated, so you don't know exactly where it's going to detonate.
So,
all right. Well, Braxon was trying to walk around the sphere to get lined up with the line that was coming out the guy's finger.
Right, but it doesn't it points down towards the ground, but it hasn't connected and exploded yet.
Yeah,
it's
but
real hot.
He just wants to see the trajectory.
Couldn't he infer the trajectory?
Yeah, you can. I mean, but you don't know how big the burst is exactly.
I get that, but like he's been in a fireball.
Yeah, you've been in a fireball.
So he knows they go out in a big circle. He's trying to work out whether
except
we have people.
Except the fireball that you were in. From your memory, every single thing that you were seeing right now would be covered by that because you were in an enclosed space underground and the fireball filled the area, and that's not what you're in now. And you're not a spellcaster.
That's why I said he answered my question when he said the ring, size of the room.
So, going down from the trajectory of that, you would guess that it's going to probably affect some large creatures that have kind of bear and owl features, but unlike a natural creature, they seem to have kind of a porcelain appearance to them, and they're actually quite beautiful in appearance, but they are all perfectly identical except that one of them has been injured in some manner. So now that you're close enough to kind of get a more of a feel for what's going on, you see also that the creature inside the hemisphere of blue light has a staff on its back. The blue light sphere is interfering with your vision a bit, so you can't see much more of what's going on there. The hailstorm behind all of the it's essentially happening behind the creature getting the earthen creature punching what Snowlark said was one of her sisters, and there's large hailstones pummeling a large group of figures in there. The ones that I mentioned that looks like they may be in the effect of the fireball coming up. Another green-haired figure like Snowlark, wearing reddish-brown armor. And also some figures that are about human-sized, wielding bows, but they're also have kind of porcelain-like flesh, as far as you can tell, and all identical. They look like they're being pummeled into the ground by this hailstorm, and you would guess that they are probably not going to survive. Snowlark will, spotting the other green-haired woman, says that that is her sister Griffin.
So,
if we can wake up her sister without waking anyone else up, we can find out what's going on here.
Yeah.
I don't think they're asleep, Braxon.
I'm trying to see if I can pull Aardvark out of her position.
She does not move at all. It's like
you can't alter anyone.
Not even with my 18-20 strength?
Nope. Does not move.
It's not a strength
inch.
thing, it's a magic.
Okay.
I do have the spell magic, but not that I'm going to use it. But
We would want to walk far out of the room before you use the spell magic.
No, I want to do it when you're strategically placed right in the path of a fireball. You know, because Lafdul and you are best friends.
Real fast. The one in the hailstorm is Snowlark would say that's her sister Pyrohydra. Near the one getting punched is another one who's getting hit by something you can't see, maybe magic of some sort, and that's the one that she says is Griffin.
All right, just to put this to rest of being able to move these things, anything.
Yeah, we can't move them.
I'm going to try to move with all my might the one that's named Griffin.
She does not budge at all.
All right, we're not moving anything here, people.
Okay, shall we keep going and try to figure out what's going on still?
Yeah, probably a good idea. I don't think there's anything here we can do currently.
I mean, there might be if you think of it, but I mean, if anyone thinks of something, you can say it. It's just that
I think we're looking at a high-level magical combat scenario.
Yeah, I think we'd have to resume time, but before we resume time, we want to be prepared to take one side or the other if we're going to get involved.
Yeah.
Well, you're pretty sure which side Snowlark is going to be on.
Yeah.
Yeah, the green-haired women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She is very consternated by the fact that she can't do anything to help out her sisters, who are clearly being injured here.
Can I ask Snowlark if any of her kind can use magic?
She says a word, and a word you don't recognize, and armor appears around her. The armor that you saw before with the big fixed metal wings on her back and a pick in her hand, and she says, "We can use this type of magic."
Oh, are you able to use, like, full-blown arcane magic or clerical magic?
No.
No, yeah. Lafdul says he can do the same with his dagger. He can make his dagger turn hot or cold. But
the master does whatever magic needs to be done.
I can make my sword appear no matter how far away it is from me.
All right, well... All right, let's move on. This is a bad fight here, but there's obviously we can't.
I wanted to figure out if all of Snowlark's people were just a group of fighters.
We are warriors. We protect the master. That is our lot in life.
Yeah.
I think somebody involved in combat has an item that's frozen time.
You think?
Yeah. And if we can identify it and smash it, I think time will come back to normal.
All right, well, let's move on.
Sounds like a fun toy to have.
So there was the two exits. Besides the one that you came in, there was the one that was basically directly opposite of where you entered, and then there was the one at 90 degrees.
Keep on going forward, I think.
So you're going to go to the one that was directly opposite?
Yeah.
Okay. You make your way over that through around the sphere, the surface of the sphere, and enter that tunnel. After some time, you come across another smashed, bludgeoned corpse that Snowlark will say is, again, a helot. This one appears to be some sort of flying creature. There are feathers that clearly look almost porcelain-like, as opposed to soft and like you'd expect from a real feather.
I'm guessing we can't grab one, though.
No.
Yeah.
Is there anything in the air that's floating?
Not as far as you can tell.
Smallish, no?
Mm-mm.
I want to see if I can put it in my bag of my pouches.
You're going to continue down the...
it would effectively be taking it into another dimension.
Continue on.
Okay. You continue down the corridor. It's about 220 feet long, you'd guess. And you find yourself entering a small spherical chamber. This one is similar to the size that of the first one you entered, so it's about 50 feet in diameter. You see two exits. One is straight ahead, essentially, like before entering the chamber, it's directly opposite, and another one is to a 90-degree angle between the two. And basically, the way you're coming in, it's like up kind of thing. The chamber itself is seems to be filled with barrels and crates of some manner. A number of them have been smashed. You see pools of water spilling out. One of the barrels appears to be, not fully smashed, but you see like kind of jets of water coming out. Clearly a barrel filled with water, but everything is, again, completely frozen in place. Moving closer to the debris, if you want to. Take a closer look.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
You see some pummeled remains of some figures. They are about man-sized humanoids and two larger ones. Again, they kind of have a porcelain look to their flesh. At least what you would guess is flesh, considering that you can't see if they have any give. And moving in closer, there are also the remains of two crushed, green-haired women. And Snowlark lets out another wail at seeing the remains of two more of her sisters.
Well, it looks like the porcelain things are definitely the bad guys here.
No, she says that those are helots.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
helots.
Go on Cerberus.
So what's attacking?
Well, these are all clearly have like been crushed. Like that this is not there isn't anything that is in the process of crushing them. They're all clearly already dead.
As far as those things with the multiple arms were
I'm still trying to figure out if the spellcaster slinging the fireball is a bad guy or whether
probably
he's on the side of the Rygar's forces and has been frozen, and the bad guys have moved on.
Well, let's solve that real quick. Snowlark, were those things with the multiple arms part of your masters?
No, they were not. I've never seen them before.
There you go.
Yeah, they were enemies.
Right, so that's what we're looking for.
Enemies, yeah.
All right. Let's continue on, I guess.
All right, well, let's
straight?
clear.
Yes, please.
Okay. You travel down a corridor that is about 280 feet long. You see absolutely nothing out of the ordinary. There's no corpses in this one. However, at the end of the corridor, you leave and into a 50-foot chamber that looks rather familiar. It's the first one that you entered.
Oh.
So we've gone around in a big circle.
All right.
Except you have not taken any curves. The corridors you've been in have been completely straight.
Right, so there's a couple of side routes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're being teleported around or something.
I'll
we're
look over to Snowlark, and I'll say, were we supposed to make a turn at some point here?
It depends on where you're trying to go. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know that fight. I don't remember exactly what was going on, other than some of the creatures that you faced on your vessel appearing. My master sent me away with a spell of some sort.
Okay, so we need to.
Maybe he wanted you to survive and get help.
I hope so.
We need to find any of those creatures that are not frozen and deal with them.
Well, yeah.
And then we need to find out how to unfreeze the room that's got your sisters in without your sisters being killed by the fireball.
Yes. Let's go down the other path then. That was the one that was at the 9 degrees or.
So you could go back to the room with the containers that were smashed and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lafdul's gonna keep an eye out for anything that looks like food.
There was some of those containers did have food items, but I mean they were smashed and well, I mean, like you could still.
No, I'm just thinking long term. Once we've dealt with this thing, if we do, we're quite low on food.
So are you going to have a can of baked beans and you holy soup?
Oh yeah, you've reminded me. It's not that I can take anything here anyway.
Can we finish up soon?
Yep. All right. So you return to the chamber with all the containers, and take the other pathway. Do you guys want to call it here and find out what's at the end of that hallway in the next session?
Yeah, my throat's really starting to hurt.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right. So you end up traveling down a 500-foot corridor, give or take. And again, it is completely straight as far as you can tell. And we'll find out where that takes you in the next session. There's definitely a lot of things for you to consider as to what's going on here. But we'll find out what's at the end of all of this next time. Thank you guys for watching. Let's go ahead and do some experience handout. Let me do a quick thing. Okay. Higgimus, 3,200 experience points.
Yeah.
Braxon, 3,100 experience points.
3,100.
Leva, 3,300 experience points. Lafdul, 3,050. And Ockar, 4,000.
Oh, is that because I was able to talk her to come along?
It's because you did some good role-playing.
Okay.
I mean, whether she had decided to come along or not was up to her, but you did some good role-playing. Okay, so, does that level you up, Lafdul? I think you're the one that's closest. Nope. All right. Well, when we come back next time, we will see what's going on. See if you guys can figure out what's up here. Thank you guys for playing. Thanks everyone out there for watching. See you next week.
Thanks for having us.
Hmm?